First of all, I want to start by saying a late Merry Christmas to everyone, and it's New Year's Eve today, so I look forward to everyone having a safe and prosperous New Year, and I look forward to getting started on 2025 and moving forward the agenda that we set in 2024. A few highlights in 2024 that I'd like to touch on. First of all, I want to start by saying none of this is possible without the hard work of each and every one of you law enforcement officers. Our success is strictly based on your work and the partnership that we have with our community. So without either one of those or both of them working together, these accomplishments that I'm getting ready to talk about are not obtainable. So first and foremost, thank you so much for your hard work for the Suffolk Police Department, and thank you so much for your hard work for the citizens of our great city. I'm going to start by some of our administration accomplishments. We planned and we hosted 2 successful all-day hiring events. We did that in March and August of 2024. We are going to do another one in March of 2025 to keep that rolling because they've been very successful, and it's due to the hard work of our recruitment team and all the officers in our HR department that are involved in these hiring events. They've been very successful. We've obtained over 100 applicants due to these events, and we hope to keep that momentum going in March of 2025. So on a note, if you've ever been interested in being a police officer, now is the time to be a Suffolk police officer. Come out in March. When you hear it advertised, come out in March, bring a friend, bring 2 friends. And if you ever wanted to be a police officer, in March of 2025 is your time. Come to the Suffolk Police Department and we'll get you going, get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and you can become part of the Suffolk Police Department family. We graduated 8 officers from the June Academy, and then we graduated another 16 from our December Academy. These are very good numbers, and they add, what that does is it adds to our, it decreases our vacancies on the street, so we can promote, we can transfer our officers, and everybody wins, when we fill these vacancies. So we want to continue to add officers to our academies. We have completed the on-site CALIA assessment for law enforcement, our reaccreditation. That's been completed. We are just waiting to hear the final word, but I'm very, 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 very confident that the final word is going to be fantastic and will be reaccredited in 2025. We began our renovation for the process of our Whaleyville Training Center. That's to give us a spot to where we can go, not only a spot, but a good spot. Right now, we have that Whaleyville training site, but it's not up to par. So we've shut down training there for now until we can get the building and its facilities up to par so we can train there full time. We've completed training for our less lethal impact weapons. That's a win for everybody. That keeps our officers safe. And whenever we can use less lethal of any kind, it prevents us from having to use lethal. So it's safer for our citizens and it's safer for our police officers as a whole. At the end of the day, it saves lives. We completed our body-worn camera transitions, our fleet in-car camera transitions, our AVL modem upgrades. We began issuing patrol vehicles with push bumpers, completed triennial VSIN audits successfully, and implemented a podcast series on social media. Here we are, right? And that's thanks to all the hard work that Mandy has put in to help us get this off and running. Mandy and Joan work very well together, and I believe this podcast is a success because of the hard work that they put in. For animal control, we implemented microchip program for adoptable canines, installed burglar and fire alarms at our animal control center, assisted disaster impacted areas with relief for housing animals when the hurricanes went through and they affected Virginia and North Carolina. Our animal control officers responded by picking up and housing animals that were lost their homes because of the hurricanes. We completed the adoption event in 2024 and increased social media footprint. Just so you know, for animal control, the more animals that we're able to have adopted, then that's the less animals that have to meet a different end. So the more animals that we can adopt out and find families for, that's less animals that that we have to euthanize. So we're able to find them homes other than the alternative. Our emergency communications successfully and achieved reaccreditation with CALEA. They implemented the full Marcus Alert plan and program. What that does is it reduces the role of law enforcement in our mental health crisis, and that's our goal all along. We want to reduce law enforcement's participation in mental health crisis if we at all possibly can. We implemented the rapid SOS to enhance location services with wireless callers. Helps us find out when somebody calls and hangs up how we can find you quicker. Implemented Next Gen 911 project, and we continue to work on the new CAD and RMS project as the project has officially entered phase 3. And when you guys see Major Epperson, give him a pat on the back because he's worked really, really hard at making this happen, and he's going to continue to work hard, and he's going to bring it full circle. So thanks to Major Epperson and all of his hard work and working on this new CAD and RMS project. Not only is our law enforcement and our communications operators CALEA, or their divisions CALEA, reaccredited, so CSI also achieved reaccreditation. So CSI, communication, and the law enforcement side, all with any hope on March of 2025 will all receive CALEA reaccreditation, which is unheard of. Installation of the new NIBIN machine in CSI. That stops us from having when we receive cartridges from weapons that have been fired, from having to send them off to a different laboratory to be analyzed. We can do it in-house, and it saves us a whole lot of time in moving forward with the case, other than have to wait for other agencies to test and send us the results back. We can do it all in-house, which just speeds up the process. Over 50 firearms seized by our Special Investigations section. I mean, I can't state enough how important it is every time we take a gun off the street. That gun that's taken off the street possibly could have been used on another person or in another crime. And to take 50 firearms off the streets, in less than a year is very, very, very commendable. That's gonna prevent them. 50 firearms could save 50 different lives. So taking guns off the street is one of our top priorities, and our Special Investigations section does it day in, day out. They do a fantastic job. We got a new family member, Pluto. Pluto joined the police department. He is our facility dog, and he will be, when he gets certified, he will be a therapy dog also. He stays with us here at headquarters. He makes everybody here feel better, and when we need him out on the street to go out to a scene to where he could be utilized to help somebody else feel better that is going through a bad time, then we will utilize him in that capacity also. So please welcome Pluto. Detective Green is his handler, or should I say Pluto is Detective Green's handler. So when you see him, say hi, stop by and visit. He loves visitors. We unveiled at the beginning of this year the 50th anniversary badges. We're now winding that down. I'm happy to say that all the officers that have them will be able to keep them. They'll be able to keep those as a keepsake, for their time in the police department during the 50th anniversary. We also allowed our retirees with 20 more years of service who retired without cause to also receive one of those badges. We've implemented a weapon-mounted lighting system on all of our firearms to include acquisition, issuance, and training. Where this is important is now it frees the officers, it's safer for the officers, and it's safer for our citizens, so the officers are not having to utilize two different hands to hold a flashlight, to hold their weapon if needed. The light is there, and it can be utilized with the press of a button. So it's safer for all involved when the officer can focus on his task at hand and not have to worry about holding another object in his hand. In January of 2024, we collaborated with probation and parole to do a warrant sweep. During that warrant sweep, we were able to make 16 different arrests, 14 felony warrants were served, 12 misdemeanors were served, and 4 out-of-city warrants were also served. Where this is important is that these are subjects who are on probation, who have violated their probation, are not reporting in, and not contacting their probation officer. So this sweep is as a reminder to them that they're on probation and that they need to stay in contact with their probation officer as the rules of their probation. Our photo enforcement cameras and red light cameras, they continue to change driving behavior. The goals have always been for this is to slow speeding vehicles in our school, our work zones, and to reduce traffic crashes. And these cameras have achieved all of the above. Behavior, I travel that route on a daily basis, and I can tell you that it has slowed vehicles down. And with that comes, if there is an accident, it's a lower speed accident, and the mechanism of injury is less because the speed is less. So it has reduced the accidents, and when we do have accidents, it has reduced the severity of those accidents. We added 2 new canines to the force, and one of them being an explosive canine. So before we would normally have to wait on the state police or Norfolk or some other agencies to help us with explosive detection canine. Now we have our own in-house, and it speeds up the process. If we have an incident at one of our schools, our new canine and the fire department's new canine can respond and are on site, so we can get order restored that much quicker. The new equipment that we have gotten in 2024 is we added to our marine fleet. We added a 23-foot safe boat. This boat allows us to get in more shallow water, which Suffolk has. It has creeks, creeks or rivers, but it also is capable of going out towards the Chesapeake Bay and assisting other agencies if needed. 4 new trikes. The trikes, we started that out kind of as an experimental thing, and it's worked very well. It's increased our response times during special events. Our officers are able to get to calls quicker. We had at a football game, we had a crowd gathered in the front of the school as a fight was imminent, and instead of officers having to get there on foot, they were able to respond. The officers were able to respond on trikes, get there quicker, and were able to resolve the situation without a single punch thrown. Traffic bollards. So we just received these. These are going to be utilized to detour traffic during our special events. It frees up where we would normally have to use a body to be there, a police officer to be there. We can place these bollards in place, and they prevent any type of vehicular traffic to travel past them. Our community outreach coordinator, along with Joan and Mandy. Mandy's, you can't see her, but she's sitting right back here. Her and Joan work tirelessly at doing things with our community. Doing not only this podcast, but they've done over 75 community outreach events during 2024, and I believe that, and Mandy, you can say with a nod of the head, that was done in about 8 months. It wasn't even a full year. So we're very excited to see what type of events that we have in 2025 if they did 75 in 2024, in only 8 months. Some of the things that they do, and guys, I can't stress enough how important what Joan and what Mandy do is that, they're the lifeline between the community and the police department. They are constantly putting on events that bring us in contact with our youth, with our civic leagues, with our homeowners associations, and there's just I mean, it's invaluable of what they give us and what they give to the community to keep this partnership as strong as it is. Some of the things that we've done, we've read books to our elementary school children, having police officers go into the schools, and I say from having done it myself, I would like to do it every time because it's really something special when you sit down with the elementary kids and you listen to them and they ask you the questions and they're paying attention. You know, you're getting past the police uniform. You know, you're humanizing what we do as police officers to school children, and I cannot tell you how important that is. The kids love it, the police officers love it, and we're going to continue to do it as long as they'll have us. We painted Christmas ornaments with the kids, and they only let me paint one, and then I did such a poor job of painting they wouldn't let me paint anymore. So the kids did a great job, and once again interacting with our police officers. And you know, as a chief of police, and you say, hey, we want to do this, we want to go into the school and do this, and you think, oh man, I hope we'll find volunteers to do it. We almost have to turn police officers away because we have so many volunteers. So the men and women of the Suffolk Police Department they want to engage and they love getting out, especially in our schools, especially in our elementary, middle, and high schools. You know, they want to get out and they want to make a difference. So we're going to continue to do that. We welcomed our students back to school. We were there when they got off the bus. We welcomed them to school. We wished them to have a great year. We instruct our students on gang awareness, and we instruct our students on gun violence awareness. So we try to cover the whole spectrum of, we want to interact with them, but we also want to reach out to them and say that there are dangers out there, and here's what they are, and here's what you should look out for. Overall, for 2024 compared to 2023, our crime rate is down, our recruitment is up, and our vacancies are down. You know, we've reduced all of those things, and it's because of each and every one of you that we're able to do those things. You know, I'm proud to sit here as the face of the police department and sit here in front of the camera and say how good things are going, but they're only going good because of the work that all of you do. You know, from Mandy and Joan to every SRO, every resource officer we have, every police officer, every detective, every narcotics investigator, every gang investigator, every communications operator, every clerk that we have, everybody that makes this wheel turn. It can't get done without you because all of us serve a role. And as long as we all keep doing that, then we'll continue to be a success. I want to thank you for everything that you did in 2024. I look forward to 2025. I know it's going to be another really good year, and it's going to be that way because of all of you out there. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. God bless you, and have a great 2025.